In this world, is the destiny of mankind controlled by some transcendental entity or law? Is it like the hand of God hovering above? At least it is true that man has no control, even over his own will.
I always have, like, a lot of, concern about properly articulating myself, because, like, I always have all these, like, thoughts and feelings and whatnot swirling around, and they are there. I always have them. But it's, like, trying to figure out the words that properly express what I'm trying to say is always kind of difficult for me. And, like, whenever I'm, like, not at 100%, it's even worse. Whenever I'm, like, tired or hungry or whatever, I always feel like my commentary for these is just incoherent nonsense that doesn't make any fucking sense. So I had some noodles, and hopefully I'll be on the ball for this part, because, whoo boy, is there a lot to talk about for this one. This part that I hope I want to be able to articulate properly here. Oh, just getting right into it. The Beast Swordsman. Beast Souls! Now a member of the God Hand, reincarnated to physical form and descended upon the world as the Falcon of Light. This scene is... Oh, I hope it gets a cutscene at least. Yeah, because Ricker don't know. Ricker don't know nothing about nothing. I heard there was some guy who looked like a woman over here, and that can only be one person, says Guts. Ah, he has a new model too. The armor is different. Griffith! There's this great parallel that someone raised, and like it isn't called attention to. He's R. Griffith. That isn't called attention to in the story. But it's something that like a fan brought up that I thought was true. Where back when Guts got raped as a child, and he went to confront Gambino about it, Gambino was all like, "Hey, sup, cuz," and acted like nothing was wrong. And that made Guts, like, question himself. He was like, "Oh, so did you not have anything to do with it? Like, you're acting like you didn't do nothing. You must realize why I'm upset." And they raise the parallel here of Guts being super mad at Griffith, and Griffith is acting like, "Yeah, sup? Oh, you're just... Oh, you never change." Yeah, like he's acting like nothing happened, and he's like, "Fuck you, you piece of shit! Look what you like. You did the bad thing. Like, don't act like you didn't do anything wrong, you piece of shit." So if Guts thinks, what a dirtbag. All caps.
この新しい体でお前の前に立って心を揺さぶる何かがあるのか。どうやら俺は自由だ。
What a fucking piece of shit.
お前がやったことに、お前が裏切ったあいつらに何一つ感じちゃいねえってことか。
俺は俺の夢を裏切らない。
He doesn't even feel bad. Like there's some villains who do a bad thing and they're like, it's a necessary evil. Like, the ends justify the means. I did a bad thing, but it's for a greater cause. Like, the minor evil done here will lead to a greater good later. Griffith's not even, like, acting like what he did was bad. He's like, I didn't do anything wrong. All was in service to my dream.
久しいな、黒い剣士。そっと。
He's not even saying like, yeah, I did that shitty thing, but no, it's like, yeah, I didn't do nothing wrong. What? Fuck you.
よくぞ我が予言を打ち破り生き残った。嬉しいぞ小僧。
ガッツのあの体型の一撃を受け止めた。あの男は一体。
見事だ。 人の身でよくぞここまで練り上げた。こうしてこの姿で修羅を生き抜いた貴様ともう一度剣を交えてみたかったぞ。どういうことだ。なぜてめえがグリフィスと。そこをどけ。俺はグリフィスに用があるんだ。言葉は無粋。押し通れ。
I may have let my, like, foreknowledge of the eclipse and what Griffith would end up doing and becoming kinda, spoil my talkings about him back during the Golden Age, because, I mean, honestly, like, Griffith is an interesting, complex character that is worth talking about. Like, he has just as much depth and intrigue going for his character as Guts does. In a way, Griffith is just as much the main character of Berserk as Guts. Like I mentioned that before. In any other story, Griffith would have been the main character. He's the one with the ambition. He's the one with a motivation, a goal, an end point that he wants to achieve. And there's scenes that we didn't necessarily see during this game that show that he does have a complexity about that ambition too, because it's not just him being like, all I care about is getting to be a king and that's it, and I will fucking climb over all the bodies I need to get there. He does kind of say that, but like there's that scene where he was like, I don't feel guilty about the people who die for the sake of my dream, but that's clearly not true. There are scenes where he does let his guard down a little bit, and we clearly can see that he does feel guilty. He does feel remorse. He does feel responsible for the deaths of his comrades that pledged their lives and loyalty to his cause. And you can look at it in two ways, because he says, like, they made their choice. They chose to follow me, and in that choice, they ended up dying. That was what came of what they chose to do. I didn't put a gun to their head and force them to follow me. I'm not using them as human shields. They followed me into war, and in war you die. Like, that's the consequence of their choice. But at the same time, like, they followed him because he is such an inspiring, charismatic presence. He did inspire their loyalty. He did persuade them through his sense of presence and personality to lay down their lives for him. He is partially responsible for their fate. But at the same time, like, they chose to do it. They could have not followed him. But he inspired that, like, it wasn't, you know, an equal choice. And you can go both ways on it, too. And you can also argue, like, at least they died for something. Like, they died in the pursuit of him achieving his goal, something far beyond anything they could have ever amounted to. Whereas if they hadn't joined him, what would they have amounted to anyway? Like, they were like peasants or crooks or like thuggery or mercenaries or a band of thieves or whatever. Like, all the different backstories of all the people who joined up with him, what would they have amounted to? They would have died in vain and like not really contributed to anything. At least in dying for Griffith's cause, like, that's one more step on the pile of bodies he can climb up to his castle. And that's like a fucked up way to look at it, but that's like surely one way that he does look at it. He's not just a simple, like, complete empathy devoid sociopath who sees people as tools. There's layers to the way he looks at people and their usefulness to him, and he is a flawed character who does, like, kind of lie about his true feelings. The way he externalizes how he feels towards people isn't entirely genuine at all times. And that's just Griffith on his own, but I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that Griffith fell in love with Guts, like, genuinely, like, doki doki, you make my heart swell, genuine romantic love with Guts, or at least in his fighting prowess and brutality. That aspect of Guts, at least, and you can see that a little bit in this scene where he's like, I wanted to see if there was anything human left in me. Nope. And yet, while he's fighting Zod here, he gets a little heartbeat. He gets a little, shit, I'm feeling things. I'm feeling. And throughout the Golden Age, like he mentioned this at the end of the Eclipse, but Guts is the only person whose personal safety and livelihood he puts in front of his ambition. Guts was the only person who made him forget his dream. He had, unbeknownst to himself, put so much into his feelings towards Guts that it distracted him. And that's why when Guts left, like, it was basically like, you're breaking up with me? Like, what? Like, what did you think this was? Did you think this was something different from what it is to me? Because you can't just leave me. What do you mean you're leaving me? And then he goes and fucks Charlotte, and guess what? He's thinking about Guts while he's fucking her. So I don't think there's any two bones about the way Griffith feels about Guts in that case. And again, extreme jealousy he felt towards Casca because of their relationship, and that kind of probably ended up influencing his decision to sacrifice the Band of the Hawk. That could definitely be interpreted as a, oh, you left me, and guess what, that fucked up my whole life, and now there's no way I can achieve my ambition like this because of what you did to me, so guess what, fuck you, sacrifice. How do you like it? That could a little bit have been part of what went behind that decision. I mean, he's still an evil, cock-sucking asshole, but, you know, he's not a snidely whiplash. He's not a mustache-twirling villain. There's layers. There's layers to his douchebaggery that are interesting to peel back. Usagi. That was down to the wire. Casca, you dumb bitch. This is also just my perspective, and not something that it calls attention to. But this also draws parallels to Griffith and Guts' first meet. Back when Guts was attacked by the Band of the Hawk, where at first Griffith just has no interest. And then his right-hand general goes out to fight him, Casca then, Zod now, and while they're fighting, Griffith feels the Doki Doki. He feels an attraction towards Guts and his display of violence. And then it concludes with Griffith saving Casca. That's all he cares about! What a dirtbag! Fucking, like... After all you've done, all I want is to become a king. You of all people should have known. Ah, you fucking dirtbag, Griffith, I hate you so much! Like, holy shit! Hell on earth came, and he was this prophesized fifth angel. He's a literal agent of God slash the devil slash God. And is this dark angel. He's the fucking prophesized fifth angel of the idea of evil, or whatever that cut chapter was. I haven't read it. And all he cares about is, oh, I still want to get my own kingdom. How about some fucking perspective, dude? Clearly there are bigger things at play here than you becoming a king. Fucking dirtbag! Oh! Griffy! Like, of all the fictional characters in all of the history of storytelling, I have never hated someone as much as I hated Griffith. Griffith! Oh, you fucking asshole. It's okay, Ricker. You weren't to know. But you weren't there. You won't feel in your heart what happened the way I do.
Yeah, the
shittiness of Gus's everyday life is amplified by Casca. And they can't just stay here now, because the mine that Casca would stay in, that would keep her safe, the elf cave, was destroyed during the fight with Zod. So now, it's very slim, but it's always like, what's Guts' motivation at any given time? Because unlike Griffith, he doesn't really have an end state, he doesn't have a goal he's working towards. He's just always kind of existing. So like for the Black Swordsman arc, it was really nebulous, but he kind of wanted to go kill Griffith somehow, but really he was just kind of running away from his feelings, and was just like, I'm gonna go kill me some apostles, because that'll make me feel better about myself. And now he's like, oh, that fucking Griffith, I want to go kill him. But Casca, though. So now what's his hope? What's his goal?
この楽園がある
Like
から
A said.
俺たちは資料や魔物どもを呼び寄せちまう。
Like A
それにも
said.
危害が及ぶ。
俺は
Does that mean like A said?
エリカにだって
Like that? Yeah, so that promise of living a peaceful life here with them.
俺だって
As long as they're branded.
掘り出すな。合同の遺言だろ。
元気でね、キャスターお姉ちゃん。しっかり守らなくちゃダメだよ、ガッツ。
ユキ。そういや俺が高野団を飛び出したのも。
And
ちょ
like,
うどこんな雪の中
there's the fact that the only reason they can't stay here and live peacefully with Ricker and Erica is because Guts had to go fight Zod, and during that fight, the mine was destroyed. So giving into that need for
置い
vengeance
てけ
and
しね
that
えさ。
violent desire,
置き去りにはしね
he destroyed the only chance he had at a peaceful life. Because he could have just let it go. I mean, he's not some hero. He's not like, I gotta go kill Griffith to save the world. Like, that's not even a thought. That's not a thing. He's like, fuck you. I hate that guy. I want to kill him because Griffith! Like, that's it. There was nothing stopping him from just letting it go. That's really unsatisfying, and you could even argue from a certain position that's the wrong thing to do. It's wrong to like, oh, he did that. He did this terrible thing, and now he just gets away with it? No one else on this planet knows what he did. No one else will punish him for what he did. You're just gonna let him get away with it and go make his new kingdom. From a certain perspective, that's wrong to do that. But from another perspective, that's not your problem. Like, you're not this arbiter of justice. You're not the hand of karma enacting righteous punishment to punish Griffith for this sin he committed. You're just a guy. Just say fuck it. Like, hey, Griffith, you're a dick. Never talk to me again. Loser. Bye. I'ma chill with Casca for the rest of my life in solitude and happiness and peace. Because we can just chill nightly in this fucking, cave and be fine. So go fuck yourself. And, like, whatever. The rest of the world isn't my concern. Whatever Griffith's gonna go do, fuck it. Not my problem. I'm gonna live happily in peace. And maybe, you never know, maybe in doing that, he could, like, move on past the darker aspects of his nature. Maybe with him there, with Casca every single day, maybe that would fucking, I don't know, snap her out of it. Maybe she would come back, given enough exposure, and they would help heal each other. No. Give in to the vengeance, give in to the anger, give in to the hatred, give in to the beast. And you lose that opportunity. You make that choice, and you live with the consequences. And now he's setting out on this journey again, which the tribulations he faced will be amplified because Casca's there and has the brand also.
Ishidoro どうなったかな。死んでなきゃいいけど。目つきの悪さと強情なとこ、なんとなくガッツに似てたな。
ふざけろ。
I'll hold off on Serpico's remembrances. The Stranger. We're almost there. We're almost to the other characters. We're almost there. Hold on. Oh, they cut it. I thought hopefully there would be a scene in the game, but Goto's dead. The blacksmith dude, he's gone. They get back Casca and Guts show up, and Erica is at Goto's grave and being like, "Hey, Dad," and Guts is like, "Oh, we were too late," and she's like, "No, don't worry about it. He died like immediately after you left." It's almost like he was holding on specifically to, like, holding out hope that he would get to meet Guts one more time. Almost. And, like, after he got to meet him one more time, he was like, okay, now I can go. I can stop holding on to that. Casca! Fucking don't just run off. Casca! Hurry and rescue Casca. That's great. The way that's written is pretty funny. And it's like, on the one hand, you know, he was an old man. And, you know, hey, not a lot of people in this world get to die peacefully of old age, right? In the world of Berserk. That's like, of all the ways people have died peacefully of old age, that's better than most people get, right? But it's still like a bummer to lose, because Goto wasn't exactly like a mentor figure, but he did provide like nuggets of wisdom that were beneficial to Guts and like helped him grow as a person. He provided like a place of comfort for him, physically and emotionally, during his travels. And now he's gone. That comfort is gone, and that's a bummer. It's almost like you have to let go of that crutch and make your own way now, on your own. Like there's no more safety net, almost. And that, you know, that coming of age almostness is put right next to the return of Griffith. Like the fucking guy. So it's like, you gotta fucking get over it. And it's almost like if Goto had been around, he would have been able to talk Griffith, to talk Guts. That's gonna keep happening again now. If Goto had been around, he would have been able to talk Guts out of it. Out of his desire for vengeance. On you fellas. Interesting word choice. But because he wasn't there, you know, what happened happened. But then you have, like, Rickard there also, like, taking up his mantle in the same place as a caretaker for Erica and, you know, fulfilling that dream he had of becoming a blacksmith. The Hill of Swords. During the fight with Zod, actually, it was this really cool fight where they're fighting and whatnot, and there's this moment where Guts grabs one of the swords that's littering the field and uses it during the fight, like as an impromptu thing. And it was this really cool moment, and Rickard was like, yo! Oh, Casca, it's so depressing. It's such a bummer. Casca, hold up. Fucking slow down, girl. I don't know where you think you're going. This is actually a good way to kind of communicate in a game way. The way, like, the true impact of what happened to Casca. Because compare the way she was during the Golden Age, when she was fucking playable, to this, where she's babbling insanity and is just wandering around, completely defenseless. she's become a complete burden. And that's no exaggeration, like, you can't sugarcoat it. She has gone from this asset that could stand shoulder to shoulder with Guts, and now she's this. She has been reduced to this. And it's also a good way to be like, fuck you, Griffith! You did this! Casca is like this because of you and what you did! Fuck you, Griffith! You piece of shit! Oh, I hate him so much! It's been 20 years and I'm still really, really mad. There we go. We outie. This is another way that, like, the game filler aspects can be used to a benefit. Like, who are these just random douchebags? Like, 1,000 dudes for 2 people. For the sake of 2 people, let us 1,000 men. What is this bullshit? And also, another small detail that was kind of cut was back when Casca, like, back when the eclipse first happened, or not after it when they were, like, in recovery, when they were back at Goto's place. Damn it. When they first woke up and it was, like, discovered, oh, Casca's a fucking bitch, she reacted in fear and negativity towards Guts. And he was all bummed out because he was like, you know, she's my honey bunny. She my babe. She my girl. And I want to go to her in relief and in desire for comfort for this terrible experience we both went through. And in, like, at least you're alive and can maybe help me deal with how I'm feeling about what happened. And she's dribbling insane and freaking out and pushing him away. And they explicitly say, like, she reacts that way to all men. When Goto was trying to be there, when Rickard was trying to be there, she reacted the same way, like, all dudes. Like, he got a penis, fuck off. Fuck off my face with your bullshit. And so, like, the impact of how alone Guts feels is amplified even more. Because Casca is not only insane, but she's like, no, get away from me. No. And he's like, oh, I just want to hug someone right now. I just want to hug with my one arm. And she's like, ugh. But now, at this point, she's better. Like, she's okay with Guts being near her. Because at the Tower of Conviction, during that whole thing, he protected her, and she was like, oh, cool, you're cool. You're a good guy. I'll stick with you. Because he was protecting her. So now, right now, she's okay with him.
でもちゃんと食べとかないと体持たないぞ。ただでさえ毎日日暮れから夜明けまで剣振りっぱなしなんだから。
実際思ったよりきついもんだ。人一人かばいながら剣を振り続けるってのは。だがそれ以上にきついのは、見る影もないお前があの日々を巨来させる。全て砕け散ったのだと突きつけ続けること。パック、お前の故郷ってのはどんなとこなんだ？
そりゃもういいとこだぞ。エルフヘルム、そこは遥か西の海に浮かぶユートピア。
Yay! Comic relief! Comic relief! Brief levity from the horrible fucking allegories of Alzheimer's and dealing with the mental degradation of someone you held dear and close to your heart.
なんでお前国を出たんだよ。
飽きちゃった。
まさかこいつに頼ることになるとはな。
Yeah, just totally don't even think about the fact he's going back and forth between chestnut puck and regular puck. Also, it's not that he doesn't have a penis, it's just the artist doesn't draw penises. There's a lot of nudity in Berserk, and never a once is there a penis to be seen. So it's not just because Puck doesn't have a penis and that's unique to him. In Berserk, people just don't have genitalia. Because he's like, I don't want people to just stare at their dick. Like, you people, you're just gonna stare at their dick. Wow, look, even in the character select screen here, Griffith has his Hawk of the Millennium Falcon costume, and Zod too. Hold on. Oh, what the fuck, I can't just play as whoever I want. I'll play as whoever I want, damn it. Even during free mode, that's interesting. Oh, I can't pick his costume. I guess you have to, like, officially unlock it. But look, see, here's Griffith's regular, and here's Zod's regular. And now let's go back to the story. And look, Griffith is in his Hawk of the Millennium Falcon on the character select screen. That's really cool. That's a cool little detail.
さて、追っ始めるか。